Good afternoon, lovely tubers. White Mexican back in for another video today. I'm going to be featuring a pretty random selection of cards here, so we're just going to get right into it, starting off with Injection Fairy Lily. I've been talking about this card for several years now. I mean, everyone loves this card. I would think it's safe to say that this is right up there with Dark Magician Girl as far as it comes to like anime girl artwork collectability status. Is really high up there. One of those just really great collector's card. A lot of not really too many great rarities. You can see all of these common prints here. There is a retro pack. It looks like ultra rare, or maybe it's Dark Beginnings ultra rare. I'm not really sure here. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at the most coveted here, the original LOD first edition secret rares. I want to say it was back in about 2016 era, maybe 2015 era was probably one of the last times I invested in this card personally. I was picking up first edition lightly played / near mints for $14. That was the price point back then, couple years ago now. We're seeing unlimiteds here start off around 7 and doppels all the way down to 25 at the bottom for the first page here. The first editions we're going to get on the second page is going to be 25 bones, and quickly jumps into 29, and then moves all the way up to 37 plus. So this card is quickly increasing. It's finally starting to get that collectability value, as everyone knew this card would. Again, this is the highest rarity of this card, and the artwork is just unparalleled. I personally like this card a lot more than even Dark Magician Girl, mostly just because until very recently, when we get the new set of the Lost Art promotion cards, we're getting the uncensored ship, one of the versions of the uncensored ship Dark Magician Girl, which is actually a fine choice. A really smart move by Konami. I think it's really good. It's a smart business move that they finally have decided to release at least one of the versions of Dark Magician Girl uncensored, to kind of get business back into booming and into place after this whole COVID-19 stalemate that we've been experiencing the last couple months. Let's take a look at some downgraded versions here. It looks like there's an ultra rare downing from Retro Pack. I'm a big fan of Retro Pack. I like Retro Pack a lot. I can understand why there is good value in this set. I might just be a little biased, but I understand like kind of the rarities and kind of the values of Retro Pack. I really don't understand Dark Revelations. I really do not understand why Dark Revelations is so much money. Again, I kind of sound like maybe a broken record, but there's just not nice rarities. I really there's few to none Dark Revelation cards that have nice rarities. Like they're just basic stuff like ultras and supers and stuff, and they're just worth so much money, and I just really don't understand. The only thing that I can guess is because I guess that Dark Revelations, obviously, yes, it's an ancient set. It's very, very old. It's strange, though, because it's not as old as, like, Dark Beginning 1 and Dark Beginning 2. Like, those are even older reprint sets. And, but just, I guess Dark Revelations was just highly under-manufactured or produced or whatever. So, I am a fan of Retro Pack, though. Only one page of this currently on the market for the Retro Pack Ultra, starting out at $7. Not that bad. It's a pretty good price. And then doppels all the way up to about $18 or so here for at the bottom here. So really not a whole lot on the market as well. I want to say there is another ultra rare version dawning from one of the Dark Beginnings sets. So Dark Beginnings 2. This is either a rare or an ultra rare. It's another ultra rare print. This is really nice too. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't think the Dark Beginnings sets had first edition prints, so I don't think you're going to be able to find first edition runs of that. And this card is about $6, just across the board, $6. Only 2 listings for this one, so people are definitely clearing out on this card. Back in the day, this used to be a really sought after card, playable card, because you could boost her up, pay the 2K, and then get her up to 34, and you could even knock out a Blue Eyes back in the day, which was unheard of for a non-tribute monster, even more so. Again, artwork and collectability is going to be why this card is just continuing to increase in value. Moving on here, we have Honest. I love Honest. I really hope that Konami wises up and eventually decides to manufacture a card that does the same effect as Honest. You can pitch it and boost a monster from the hand. But for dark monsters, I definitely think that's been a long time in the making. It needs to happen. Konami, you need to make a dark version of Honest. Maybe you can call it Dishonest. I think that would be pretty cool. If they manufactured a card that was specifically for boosting dark monsters, they should totally entitle it Dishonest. I think that's a very fitting name of a card of that caliber. Anyway, moving on here, working with what we have, there is, of course, the Ghost Rares. I'm not really going to go into the Ghost Rares because they're just ungodly expensive, probably even more so for even the unlimited versions. They look very, very nice, highest rarity. Everyone's really obsessed with the Ghost Rares. I am personally myself. Unfortunately, I do not own any copies of this Ghost Rare. I have several copies of the Light of Destruction Secret Rares, though. Most of them unlimited, unfortunately. Again, I do not recommend really kind of doing any investments in unlimited unless something is just ridiculously, like extremely significantly more cheaper, which they usually are between unlimited and first edition. But that's going to be up to player preference. I really do not spend much of any time or effort into investing things that are not secret rare. It's very rare that you'll see me invest in a card that is not first edition if it is capable of being printed in first edition, of course. Unlimiteds here for the original secret rares is going to be about 11 bones. No first editions on the first page. There's only 3 pages of this on the market right now for the secret rare versions. And in the first edition, it goes all the way up to 18 bones and then starts to trickle up to about 20. 3 pages on the market for that. Honest is a fantastic card. I love Counter Fairies. I love Perfect Herald. And back in the day when the agents, what was that structure deck called? It was the same era that like Dark World, I think it was right before Dark World came out. The structure decks or Gates of the Underworld structure deck came out. But the agents decks with Hyperion. Hyperion was a big boss monster, and it was just I really love that era Yu-Gi-Oh, and I still to the day really like Hyperion and all that old school agents and fairy stuff. I would have to say, so the Ghost Rare, Secret Rare, both obviously first editions and of the secrets and the ghosts are fantastic. And there's really not much else. There's like a Twilight Edition Ultra Rare and then a plethora of commons. This is probably a super or something, a crap gold. But I would say the MVP, honestly, yes, the Secret Rares and the Ghost Rares look fantastic, but they also come with a pretty big price tag. Whereas this Dual Terminal 7 version, this is a rare. It's not only a dual terminal, but is a rare, which is really nice. Is only about $2-ish, $2, and then you want to factor in shipping. Core TCG Player, this is an amazing seller. I get from Core TCG Player all the time. I'm an avid supporter of this store. Their conditions are always very accurate. They're lightly played, they're near mints, and their quantities, and they hardly ever do any kind of errors on messing up orders. And they have 24 right here for $1.50, and free shipping over $5 option, which is pretty great. So this would definitely be the version I would personally go for. I think $2 is $1.50 is a fantastic pickup for this. I can definitely see this going up because it's rare. It's dual terminal. Dual terminal went bye-bye. Konami is no longer manufacturing dual terminal cards. So as time goes on, these cards aren't getting any younger. They're getting more harder to get, and they're not being reproduced. And they're just a special rarity on their own merit alone. But this is also a rare, so that is also an extra bonus to this card. And Honest is just an amazing deck. There's so many awesome light decks out there, and this is just a really great card. So I would definitely check that out. It's definitely worth taking a look at. Rainbow Dragon, I love the artwork in this. I believe that there was a misprint error with some elemental hero card in Rainbow Dragon for the Ghost Rare specifically. That is like ungodly expensive. It's a misplay collector's rare thing. I don't really know too much about that because I was after my time before I came back into the game. But the original print secret rares, they got the tin promos, and you have the dark version here. And I thought about this specifically because my last video I reviewed not this card specifically. It was actually Cyber End Dragon and Malefic Stardust Dragon and Malefic Cyber End Dragon. because I was just having kind of nostalgia moment of this old school beater deck that I used to use with Skill Drain and the Malefic cards and all that. But Rainbow Dragon for the original print secret rares. If you want to go one rarity downgrade, because ghost rares just in general, even for unlimited copies for anything, are really pretty going up, really high in value. Unlimiteds are sitting at about 19. First editions we get are going to be about 35, and then it drops all the way up, or goes all the way up, should I say, to 70. So that's pretty incredible. I'm really surprised that this isn't more. I think $70 is a lot of money. It's definitely a significant chunk of change, but for what this card is, I think this is a really good collector's card. Tactical Evolution is just an ancient set. I want to say this is maybe GX era, maybe I want to say GX era. I think it was before 5Ds. I think it was GX if I'm not mistaken. So second generation of Yu-Gi-Oh status, if I'm not mistaken. I never personally built Crystal Beast, but I thought they had kind of a different new approach to their mechanic, and they got some pretty cool artworks on some of the cards. So I think this is a pretty cool thing to check out. Really quickly, I want to look at the alternative print secret rare, which was the tin promos. It looks like those have gone up in value for some reason. 2007 was a long time ago. We're talking about 13 years ago that this tin was produced, so this has definitely built some age on over time. And yes, looking here at Nearman and Lightly Playeds exclusively, even the tin promos are sitting at $18 to $21. Only 2 left in the market, and that's probably why it's significantly gone up in the market. So if you have these, you have some money. So I would sell the tin promos. If you have the original print secrets, I would hold on to those because I definitely think that they have room for growth in value. Next card is going to be Kaiser Coliseum. This is currently a banned card. This is on the forbidden list. It got banned, I want to say quite a long time ago, a couple years ago. Original print would be my personal preference. Again, I'm not a big fan by any means of any of the Dark Revelation sets, so I would always go particularly for this card for the original OG first edition commons, dawning out of a very, very awesome Generation 1 set, Magician's Force. This is just a fantastic card. I used to run this card back in the day in my anti-meta builds. I'm an avid anti-meta player. I just love, there's so much diversity and so much you can do and so many tech cards that you can mix in with anti-meta, and it's just a really great time. And this was one of the cards back in the day. I really hope, I'm an avid believer that everything comes off the ban list eventually, regardless if it gets errated or not. I hope this card doesn't get errated. It's ridiculously powerful, so I'd be really surprised if it doesn't get errated. But I'm a firm believer that everything comes off the ban list eventually. First edition prints here are going to sit at about a quarter. It's a 1 of, and then there's just a quarter here, here's a 2 of. 5+ pages left of this, so just a fantastic card. You're definitely going to want to pick up this card now, and it's super cheap. Does it have potential to get a reprint? Yes, there's only 2 prints, and both of them happen to be commons, unfortunately. But this is just a fantastic sleeping ban card. Moving on to one of my favorite decks of all time. I kind of say that a lot. I have a lot of favorite decks, as you guys probably can tell by now. But Herald of Perfection. This is my all-time favorite ritual monster, and there's just such amazing rarities that I was printed in. You have the Shining Darkness original print ultra rares, which I'm going to take a look at really quick because I've seen a small uptick in their price values. Shining Darkness was a very long time ago. I don't know. I think this maybe was 5Ds. This is either 5Ds or GX era. I'm not really sure. Again, I kind of stopped. I played from like the dawning of the game, from like LOB and the start at Kaiba and Yugi, all the way to one of the last sets I remember was, I think, Rise of Destiny. Rise of Destiny, I think, was one of the last sets I remember picking up as a kid before I quit the game. And then I came back in 2011 after high school. After graduating high school was when I came back in. And I think like that hot set was Extreme Victory, I think was the hot set back then. And then, we had the whole XYZ era, dawning of the XYZ era after that, which we saw, Generation Force, which is a really awesome set too, really special set to me. Anyway, moving on here, I forgot. Okay, so Ultimate Rare Herald of Perfections. We're going to see even the Unlimiteds here. We're seeing are $40. They have gone up like crazy in value. Taking a look at the first edition prints, it's all the way up to 48 plus. A couple of choices here on the bottom of the second page. And there's 2 pages left of this. So really, really interesting to see that. A beautiful, old school, ultimate rare. Again, this is like the god of negation monster deck card. It's so fun. I really love, again, I love fairy decks. I love light decks. And this deck is no stranger to any of that. Second really awesome printing of this is going to be the Gold Series Haunted Mine. I believe this was Gold Series 4. And I'm really not a big fan of Gold Series, although I will say, like I say normally, I love 2008, 2009 Gold Series. They actually did gold rares right back then. They kind of just lightly coated the cards with that gold flashy kind of mirror reflection, and they just looked fantastic. So 2008, 2009 Gold Series were great. Haunted Mine was good too, but more specifically just because of the Ghost Golds, which I'm going to be featuring all the Ghost Golds in this set. Never to this date, and again, Gold Series is very old. I want to say this came out in, I think, early 2012 or maybe even, late 2011 is when we got this Gold Series. And to this date, Konami has not released Magic or Trap cards in Ghost form. Now, granted, they're Ghost Gold, but still, Konami has also not made Ghost Gold since the dawning of the set, and only this set specifically has Ghost Gold cards. And I'll show you the other cards lately and kind of go into more detail about that. So this is my personal rarity of this card. I would prefer this Ghost Gold anytime, even over a first edition Ultimate. I know it sounds crazy saying that, but it's true. It's just my personal preference. $19 starts off the market price. There's 2 pages of this. It goes all the way down to $40 on the bottom of the first page. So that is pretty incredible. Moving on here to the next Ghost Gold is going to be Mystical Space Typhoon. Now, this is what I was talking about. Gold Series 4 Haunted Mine was the only set, and still to this date, is the only set that has printed Magic and Trap cards in the highest rarity of Ghost Rare. So it's very, very special on its own merit alone. Of course, we have the ultimate rare version of MST from Astral Pack 8, which is holding good value. It's an ultimate rare. Personally, I don't think this looks very good. I would much rather prefer the Ghost Gold version. So let's go ahead and take a look at some price points. So I guess this was Gold 5. I'm sorry. I thought Haunted Mine was Gold Series 4, but it says Gold 5, so my mistake. It looks like I correct myself. It was Gold Series 5. That was the Haunted Mine where we saw the dawning of the Ghost Golds. The first one we're going to see here is going to be $37 and jumps all the way down to $50. There's only 1 page of Ghost MST, Ghost Gold MST. So that is pretty incredible. All of the Ghost Gold cards have just skyrocketed in price. Blue Eyes being the most valuable one, which I'm really surprised about. But I mean, Blue Eyes players. There's Blue Eyes players out there, so there is that. I'm not going to go too far into these, but there's just so many fantastic rarities. I think MST probably takes the cake on having the most reprints. There's a whopping 54 prints of this card. This card has been in the game since, I think, the dawning of Magic Ruler, which I want to believe, I think, was the 3rd core TCG set in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series in the DM era. The Magic Ruler specifically, I don't think Spell Ruler had a first edition print after they had the whole lawsuit and Konami had to change Magic cards to Spell cards. I guess, I don't know, I've never seen first edition Spell Ruler cards, so I think this was just considered like a rerun set. I don't think there was ever a first edition print of Spell Ruler cards. I personally like the Magic Ruler ones because they're older. They have the Magic card stamped, the original names, OG, and the ultra rare first editions are pretty pricey, and they're definitely collectible, a good collector's value. I do like the Hobby League 2 kind of like parallel prismatic ultra rares. They're really nice too. You got to be careful with those because Unfortunately, they were made with a thicker. Unfortunately, they were made with thicker cardboard, so they kind of squeeze into sleeves a little bit more tighter, I guess. And some games, probably not your locals, but like higher echelons of tournaments, they probably give you some DQs and crap for that. So be really careful for that. It's more of like a collectability card. There is some secret rare versions from Legendary Collection 3, Legendary Collection 4. Again, Legendary Collection 4 and 3, they kind of run parallel. There's a lot of cards they reprint in the same rarity. Mostly, I think, just to kind of give people a second opportunity to pick up those cards in the higher updated rarities. So yeah, there's the dual terminal version as well, which is really great. So just all across the board, there's so many amazing rarities of this card. This is one of my all-time favorites, just like classic 1-for-1 magic trap remover. It's a quick play, has awesome artwork, and it's just a really great nostalgic card that I always think is gonna be in the game. Yes, we have Twin Twisters now, and like Heavy Storm Duster, and all these heavy hitters. But MST is always going to be forever in a special place in all of our us old school players. Moving on, Gores, the Emissary of Darkness. This is the third ghost gold here from Haunted Mine. Now, for the longest time, and still to this date, this card, if I'm not mistaken, it was the cheapest one, and I'm pretty sure it is still the cheapest gold from Haunted Mine. This card is sitting at $33. $33 is the starting price, and then it just kind of goes up and up after that. It doubles down to $40 at the bottom of the first page, and there's only 2 pages left. This card was like $5, $3. Collectors really went in and took advantage of this card. It's almost cleaned out of the market, and all these prices are really, really high. And I really regret not buying the crap out of this. I know I did invest in a few copies. I think I only got, I don't even know if I invested in Haunted Mine when it first dropped, when it was brand new. And I don't remember. No, I don't think you got a Ghost Gold. Yeah, you didn't get a Ghost Gold in every pack. They're pretty tough to pull. Not like terribly tough, but I think maybe in only a couple boxes you maybe got one if you're lucky or something. So the ratios were definitely pretty mixed up. But again, this card, like not even that long ago, I want to say maybe like 2017, maybe even like early 2018. This card was still like super cheap. It was like $3, $4, $5, and now bam, it's at $33 right off the bat. It's just holding incredible value. It's insane. There is a couple other versions. I still think Gores is an amazing card. Back in the day, so many players would have to play around this card out of fear of their opponent having this card because this was such a big game changer back in the day. It was insane, and you constantly lived in fear of your opponent kind of just switching the board, turning the tables, and then just beating you in the face with this 27 beater. Plus, they had a token. And, yeah, this was a really big deal in the day. Obviously, now it's a little bit out of date. It's a little watered down compared to the other hand traps that we have out now. But this is still a very good card, and I totally could see this card seeing play again. I could see this running into favor again. Sometime throughout the future metas. There's the Retro Pack Secret Rares, which are very, very nice. There's also the Dark Legends. I think it was a promo card. I think these are both promo cards. Or maybe it's... Anyway, there's 2 secret rare versions here. These are still significantly affordable and cheap. I don't think it really matters if you get Retro Pack. Obviously, Retro Pack is a little bit more rare, I guess, per se, to Dark Legends, and that's why it's a little bit more pricier. But both of these are very, very affordable. They're still easily accessible, and I would definitely pick up a couple copies because this is still a very great hand trap card. If I can say that, we didn't call them hand traps back in the day. I think that term kind of came about when we started getting like Ash Blossom and Maxi, and when DD Crow and Effect Veiler and all that came into prevalence. But this is still just a fantastic card, so it's definitely worth taking a look at. Solemn Judgment. So in a later tab, I have all of the Solemn cards up. So more specifically, I wanted to open this up to take a look at the Ghost Gold versions from Haunted Mine. Again, this is, I think, second to last Ghost Gold card. Again, Uh, the only time that a trap card was printed in this Ghost rarity, to this day, MST and Solemn Judgment are the only Magic and Trap cards to have this highest rarity of Ghost rare. Some players do not consider this as rare or as valuable as just a true kind of purebred Ghost rare. But me personally, my opinion on the matter is these Ghost Golds are still very much Ghost rare cards. And they, as you can tell, their value is not maybe as, their value isn't matching that of, a what was it, Duelist Genesis, I think, where that is what the set that Stardust Dawn from, or anyway, like Crossroads of Chaos, Ghost Rare, Black Rose Dragon First Edition. Obviously, it's not on that level by any means, but these are still very beautiful cards, very popular, playable cards throughout all the metas. Great history to all these cards, and the price point is showing it's about 35, and then it jumps all the way up to 46, then doppels down to 60. Only one page of this. I'm really happy about this personally because I actually invested into several copies of this in, I want to say it was 2017. It was my first year in Japan. I picked up several copies of this because I believed in these Ghost Golds. I knew that they were very special on their own merit, and that this was the only set to date to do something special like this. So there is that. Moving on here, we have the last featured Ghost Gold card, which of course is going to be the infamous, the legendary Blue Eyes White Dragon. And unfortunately, I hate this artwork. It's really sad. It's quite unfortunate that they chose this artwork. The Blue Eyes itself looks pretty cool, I suppose. I just really hate the tablet in the back. I think it's really just a poor choice. There's so many amazing artworks that we have of this card, but this is just definitely my least favorite. But it's holding great value. $66 starts off the market price, and then jumps up to 80, 125, and then tops off at 200 bones, ladies and gentlemen. $200 for this Ghost Gold version of Blue Eyes White Dragon. So pretty incredible value there. Next card here is going to be Icarus Attack. A couple videos ago, I featured some Blackwing stuff. I've never personally built Blackwings, but I love the deck. I respect the deck. This is a really big fan favorite deck. I want to say this was either I think a 5Ds, a 5D, maybe not 5, I think maybe even a GX, either 5Ds or GX deck. Again, this was after my time. Really great rarities. This is a 2-for-2, a simple 2-for-2, really powerful card. We have the Dark Revelations, which I'm not really gonna go into. My personal favorite is the Dual Terminal 4. There's a lot of just random crap here. Really, there's not anything really good. I'm surprised this hasn't had any better rarities. But the Dual Terminal 4, which happens to be a rare as well. It's not only a common, it's a rare, and it's dual terminal rare. And this is it's awesome artwork. This is, in my opinion, I would run 3 of these in my Blackwing deck. I'm not a Blackwing player pro. I don't really know this deck very well, but I respect it. I appreciate it. I value it as a really popular fan favorite deck, and there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this deck. And this is still very affordable. It's very cheap. I don't think it's going to last that long, though. We see 15 listings on the market. The first one is starting out at under $1 before factoring shipping, and it's just $1 across the board. Not any big walls by any means. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second page. So yeah, the biggest wall is an 8 of for 2 bones. This card is quickly clearing off the market, and this is a fantastic card. I personally invested into multiple copies of this a couple years ago, just because it was just like a quarter, 50 cents. It was super cheap. It's still really cheap. I highly recommend you guys get at least a playset of this card, even if you don't like Blackwings or don't plan on building Blackwings. There is a pretty big fan base out there for Blackwings, and people will pay good money for this card when it clears off the market. And it's definitely not going to be under $1. Torrential Tribute is going to be the next card I want to showcase here. I love the artwork of this. Looking at the original Labyrinth of Nightmare First Edition is just really brings me back it brings such nostalgic, happy childhood memories. I used to call this the purple set. It had the warrior from another planet. It was like the cover card, but this was like a very much packaged and purple packaging set. So I called it the purple set back in the day. Sometimes I still call it the purple set. Not really too concerned about the unlimiteds. They're not really holding much of any value. Just a couple bones here and there. There's only one first edition left on the market here on TCG Player, and it's holding its ground at $40. So that is pretty incredible. This is a Generation 1, just Dark Hole and Trap version, and just a fantastic artwork. I really do. This is just a really great card. There's the Hobby League versions. Be careful because they're a little bit thicker, made with a little bit thicker cardboard, which is pretty cool. The Gold Series 2008, these are actually very nice. I like these a lot. But my personal favorites, I mean, obviously, the original OG, first editions specifically, Labyrinth of Nightmare are my favorite. But Legendary Collection 4 dawned a secret rare. And I don't know if it got a secret rare. I guess not. And this is actually one of the cards they didn't double duplicate in copying the rarities between Legendary Collections 3 and 4. But this is the secret rare version. Technically the highest rarity that we have to date here in the TCG. And it just looks so fantastic in this beautiful deep secret rare rarity. The secret rare goes so well with water-looking artwork stuff. And it's actually seen a very significant increase in value. I remember I was picking this card up. Again, these are all from Legendary Collection 3 and 4. Secret Dark Hole, Secret Torrential Tribute, Secret Compulsory Evacuation Device, and did I already say Bottomless Trap Hole? I can't remember. But all these really great old school core trap cards, and Dark Hole is a magic card, but anyway, that were we never had seen such high rarities in secret rare prints before until we got these Legendary Collection sets 3 and 4, and they were cheap. They were cheap as hell. They were like $0.50, $1. But the majority of them was like $1. That was a pretty standard price that I was personally picking up all these cards up for. And they are slowly going up. I review Legendary Collections 3 and 4 a lot. They're my favorite reprint collection sets, and there's just even now more than ever, there's just ever-increasing value in these sets. And we see here they're about almost $4 for the first editions here. So, and just keeps on increasing. Only 2 pages left of this, so this is a pretty great great thing to look at. Witch's Strike is going to be the next showcase card. To this date, this is still a solo print. Savage Strike was not that long ago. This is a solo print secret rare. Artwork is fantastic. I am completely in love with this artwork. Again, it's just a solo print secret rare. Has a fantastic blowout effect. It is pretty, I don't want to say situational because there's so much negation in the meta nowadays, and I think we've there's no really going back. There's not really going to be a meta where there isn't negating of effects. It's always kind of a back and forth, a battle to set up your board and how many negates can I get to stop you from your plays and then just smack you in the face and kill you. That's kind of what the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has transformed into. So this is still a very relevant card. And it's about $7. It's about $7. I would recommend only investing in the first edition prints of this. There's 5+ pages, so there's plenty on the market. But this is significantly higher. I personally have invested in several copies of this card, first edition, and I want to say I think I picked them up for about $3 to $2 a piece. Not right when Savage Strike dropped, but I think it was when Soul Fusion. Did Soul Fusion come before Savage Strike? I can't remember, but it was shortly after the hype kind of died down with this card. Kind of when I went in and I picked these up for around $2, $3, and they're seeing minor increases in value. But I personally think every player should have a playset of this. This isn't the next evenly matched. That card you definitely need a playset of. It doesn't matter if you get the Megaton Secret Rares, the OG secret rares or the dual power ultra rares. I mean, you do whatever you want. Just I personally run. There's little to no decks that I run where I don't either side or main a playset of evenly match. So that's just kind of my little 2 cents on that. But Witch's Strike is a really fantastic card, and I would definitely pick it up if you guys don't have it. Moving on, Drowning Mirror Force. So we saw, over the last couple of years, we saw a lot of new era Mirror Forces being reprinted, new forms of Mirror Forces that are fantastic. I think Quaking Mirror Force, still to this day, is probably the most popular Mirror Force. It's a really great shutdown card. But my personal favorite is Drowning Mirror Force. Now we saw the Megaton 17 secret rare prints. We got a couple other versions here. But I want to check out the original OG secret rares dawning out of Shining Victories. If I'm not mistaken, Shining Victories is a really significant set for me personally, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Shining Victories, not only being a big Blue Eyes set, a lot of the really cool Blue Eyes support came out of this, and we got Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which still is just a beastly synchro card, and now with Master Roll 5 is definitely seeing a little bit more meta play, and people are kind of hyping the card and being excited about it, as they should, because it's an amazing card, amazing artwork, and just an amazing synchro card in general. But Shining Victories, if I'm not mistaken, was also the set that we started to see Konami manufacture booster sets with at least each a one super rare or hollow foil in every pack. So that was kind of a transition of the times here. This card is about $3-ish if you want to factor in shipping. And again, these are for the original print first edition secrets, and there's only 3 pages left of this. This is just a fantastic card. It is slightly unfortunate that it has to be a direct attack because it can't defend your monsters on board, but the sheer fact that it just literally pretty much resets your opponent's board by not only removing their monsters, but just forcing them back in the deck is literally puts your opponent at such a great disadvantage if you pull this card off. It's got really cool artwork as well. Okay, so Solemn cards. There's the OTS Pack 4 Solemn Strike. This is really nice. OTS Pack 12 Judgment. This has seen some price increase. These are really great. Obviously, they're ultimate rares. They're tournament pack cards. They're a lot of money. My personal favorite is actually Solemn Judgment. This is something I'm actually going to go in and actually take a look. Donning from Duelist Revolution. We have a lot of awesome rarities of this card. It's been printed multiple times. One of the more affordable options I would personally say are the original print ultra rares, first editions exclusively from Duelist Revolution. I know when I was in Japan, I was picking up multiple of those. I think it was for about $5. I was picking up ultra rares first editions. I don't know what they go for now. There's a lot of different printings out for this card, but back in the day, I thought that was pretty cool. That was a good investment to pick up the ultra rare versions, first edition, for about $5 or so. I think that was back in 2017 or so. For the ultimate versions, for the unlimiteds, we're seeing about $49 off the bat. 4 pages left of this ultimate rare version, and the first editions are gone all the way to $80. So Solemn Warning, Ultimate Rare First Editions, lightly played, they're up to $80. This is about halfway through listings here, so you guys can go and take a look at that for yourselves. Amazing artwork, amazing counter trap card, one of the most diverse and powerful counter trap cards that we have. All of the Solemn cards are fantastic. I'm a really big fan. Again, I'm a giant avid anti-meta player, and you never really see much of any anti-meta players walking around without their counter trap Solemn cards. Another thing I wanted to review is the Lost Art promotional. This is pretty cool. The secret rares are really cool too. All the Solemn Judgments. When Solemn Judgment got unlocked to 3, it was banned for quite a while, and then it went to 1, and then it got unlocked to 3. And when we saw it go to 3, that was when we saw just a crazy increase in value on pretty much all of the Solemn Judgments. You have the 2009 Gold Series, which is really nice. Legendary Collection 3 and 4 Secret Rare, Lost Art promotion. This would have been so much cooler if they didn't make it ultra rare. Again, you guys kind of know my stance on ultra rare. I really don't really like ultra rare. Ultra rare is one of my least favorite rarities, so it's kind of unfortunate that they chose ultra rare for the Lost Art promotion. But it's really cool. You have the halos here, which is really nice. Really quickly, I want to take a look at the OG Secret Rare prints of Solemn Strike. These used to be so much money when Breakers of Shadow came out, and even when the Megatins came out. I specifically got the Megatins to get the reprint secret versions of these because these are just worth so much money, and it was such a popular card. And I'm really surprised that I mean, maybe I just don't really know the meta that well, or there hasn't been any tournaments, and so people can't really see what's going on besides the online stuff. I haven't been seeing this card floating around too much, and I'm really surprised because this is still a very diverse, very powerful, one of the most powerful Solemn Strike cards in my opinion. Right up there with Judgment, and I just haven't really seen it around. They're $6 now. They're all the way down to $6 for the original print, secret rares, first edition. So I think these are fantastic pickups. I know there's a lot of different versions of this now, but these are the highest rarities, the original prints, and I think $6 for a card like this is very, very affordable, very reasonable, and I don't think that they're going to stay at $6 forever. People need to realize that this is just such a powerful and great card, and you can literally put it in any deck that you want, and it's always just going to work out for you. Balance of Judgment. So let's talk about the original print from Clash of Rebellions. Only 2 prints on this card. Unfortunately, only common prints. This is still a really cool card. Not a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people don't know about this card. It's not a Solemn card. It doesn't have Solemn in the name, but it has the Solemn God character. And this is just a really cool card, I think. It's pretty situational, but it's pretty cool, and I think it's just one of those lesser known cards, more probably because it doesn't have Solemn in its name is probably why it kind of went unnoticed. It's about $1 for the first edition prints, plenty to go around in the market. Again, this is just a common, but it's just I wanted just to showcase it really quick because I think it deserves a little bit of spotlight. Next card is going to be Soul Drain. So everyone knows the infamous Skill Drain. Still to this day, I'm waiting for Konami to unlock Skill Drain back at 3. I miss my anti-meta beater decks with 3 Skill Drain. I feel like Skill Drain and Macros Cosmos have been locked on the ban list for so long. Doesn't it seem like it's been so long since we've been able to play 2 playsets, a playset of Skill Drain, a playset of Skill Drain. Again, these are just like some of my all-time favorite floodgates, and I really want them back. So Konami, please release those cards, and it's just going to be a crazy game at that point. Anyway, Soul Drain, this is kind of just an alternate version. We have the Lost Art promotion, which I thought was a silly choice because it's literally just changing the orbs to a broken horn. So again, the first couple choices, Konami. The Foolish Burial and Dark Magician Girl are probably some of the only cards that Konami has chosen for the Lost Art promotion cards that have actually been, I think, very beneficial and kind of have fluctuated the market and hold great value. So, honestly, my favorite would actually be the Astral Pack 4 Super Rares. I would even prefer this over the Lost Art Ultra Rares. Because it's Astral Pack, and I like Super Rare. I like Super Rare even more so than Ultra Rare, depending on the circumstance. So, again, this is just a different version of Skill Drain. It's in the Skill Drain family, and these are $1. They're $1 across the board, and they move to about $1.50, and they move to about $2. 4 pages left of this, and this is just a pretty great card. So, moving on here, I actually never thought about this before. Now, this is not my idea. I totally stole this idea from a player. I was playing online. I think it's called the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or whatever Dev Pro is called Project Ignace, I believe it is. That's the one that I'm using, and it's fantastic. I love the updates, and it's really great. I really like it a lot. I've been very satisfied with it. I was playing online. And, of course, I was playing a Shadal mixture deck, and there was a player who was playing, I want to say he was playing, I believe, the Invoked Shadal build. and he teched these in. I think he played either 2 or 3 of these. And let's go ahead and look at the OTS Pack 7 Super Rares, which are the not technically the highest rarities because there's an Ultra reprint, but I would prefer these ones because they're OTS Pack, and again, I like Supers over Ultra Rare for the most part. So this card lets you pitch, and also lets you banish a card. And the banish effect and the sheer fact that it allows you to pitch, of course, you know, Shaddoll's you want to pitch to pop off effects in the grave. It's very, very good. And then, of course, it gives you, you know, either link fodder or just an extra body on board after, you know, it comes back from the grave. So this is a really great card. I think this is Dino Mistis has always kind of been the top favorite Paleozoic card just in generic, because you can kind of put this in kind of anything, but I think it's relatively good in Shaddoll's. I'm only teching 1 right now. I'm experimenting with 1, and it's been working out pretty great. And I'm really thankful that I ran into this player, because I never even thought about putting this into Shaddoll's or anything for that fact that you want to pitch the grave. But this is a really a great tech card for Shaddoll's personally. I thought that was really creative of him. Of course, you have the dual Overload Ultras, which are like under $1, not really a big deal, and then some commons that no one really cares about. Number 101, Silent Honor. This is the ultimate rare version. I want to say, I know there's at least a normal ultra rare version, but ultimate rare is where you want to be. You know, everyone's always going to prefer this ultimate rare, even the first edition ultras. It is quite pricey, but this is just a snatch and steal on legs, or should I say more of a, I guess, did I say snatch and steal? I meant to say snatch and steal. Did I say creature swap? I don't know. I'm getting my cards confused. But anyway, this is like a change of heart / snatch and steal. You just basically steal an opponent's monster. Kind of reminds me of Big Eye. It's like Big Eye. And is Big Eye on here? It's like Big Eye. This card and Big Eye are really similar. I personally like this a little bit better than Big Eye because it's easier to bust out. It's a rank 4, but Big Eye is still pretty good on its own merit alone. Anyway, a little different because it steals a monster. It basically just erases a monster from your opponent's board, attaches it as XYZ material. Whereas Big Eye is actually straight up like a snatch and steal or change of heart, where you just jack their monster just straight up in general, like give me that shit. It's pretty awesome. So this is the ultimate version, sitting at $33 is the starting price for the first editions, and then doubles down all the way down to $40. And there's 3 pages left. Fantastic artwork. Again, just another awesome aqua water monster, and just a really great generic rank 4. Next card is going to be Huge Revelation is over. There was a couple videos back I talked about the nostalgia of Starlight Road and playing Starlight Road to kind of defend my back row back in the day when we had like Heavy Storm and the meta was pretty crazy, and I was kind of playing like these slower, like trying to be controlling decks, and then I discovered this card, and of course Starlight Road gives you a Stardust on board, which is pretty cool. You can pop it off to use the defensive tactic 1 time, because obviously it's not synchro summon naturally, but still only 2 prints. For the longest time until Machine Reactor, this was a solo print. Only 2 printings now. First original print, Dawning from Order of Chaos. Very pretty old set now and really cool set. This was a set that dawned Insectors. Insectors are really cool. I really like Insectors a lot. Back in the day, I hated them when they were completely unlocked and just running rampant and Dragonfly and Hornet teeing your face all day long. It was pretty annoying, but moving on, now they're cool. Now they're definitely in check on their power. And this is, you know, the commons, the only commons of this card. It's under $1 for the first edition. So there's 5+ pages, so plenty to go around. This is just a cool alternative. One, because it is a counter trap, so it's faster than Starlight Road, so that's one benefit. And it's cool because it's a little bit more diverse on its ignition of how you can activate it. Really cool artwork too. Alright, so speaking of creature swap, I don't know why Snatch and Steal and creature swap kind of got swapped in my mind. This is a really great card. There's pretty cool rarities, mostly just the Hobby League 3. Again, be careful, thicker cardboard with this one. Wouldn't really care much about any of the other ones, just like commons or like Starfoil or whatever. But the Legacy of Darkness OG First Edition Ultra Rares, if I remember correctly, these used to be like ungodly expensive. There was like almost none on the market. I don't know if if the players have replenished this card in the market and kind of flooded it down. Okay, they definitely have, like crazy. So the player database got wind of this card being ungodly. This was like literally like $50 or like $70. There was like one or two on the market for the first edition, even lightly played. Definitely got watered down a whole lot. People discovered this and started listing them, knocked down the price like crazily. Still only 2 pages left. But yeah, I remember this card being like $50+, and now it's all the way down to 15. So I'm really happy. I'm glad that they did that because this gives me an opportunity to pick some of these up. It's still kind of at a price point. It's kind of strange because I want to say really quick. I'm sorry. This is gonna drag on the video a little bit more, and you guys probably know by now. I don't try to do really long market watch investment videos, but sometimes it just happens that way because I just have all these ideas in my head, and there's just so much content that I want to share with you guys. Is Creature Swap on the ban list? It doesn't look like it is. Card safe return, change of heart, chicken game, cold wave, confiscation. Okay, so Snatch and Steal, that was what I was getting confused of, because Snatch and Steal came back for one format and one format only, and then I got directly banned on the very next list, which is really depressing, because I love this card a lot. Where was I? Okay, so this card apparently is unlimited. I got this confused with Snatch and Steal. Really fantastic artwork. A really cool. I love this card. This is a really tactical card. You can steal some pretty great monsters with this, and it's down to $15 for 15, 16, 21 for the first edition. So, yeah, and again, this is Generation 1, so you can find ones that were not the reprint sets and say magic cards, so collectability value there. Next card is going to be Ordeal of a Traveler. There is still only 4 prints of this, all very, very old. I guess the newest one would have been Legendary Collection 3. My favorite, obviously, being the OG Pharaonic Guardian first editions. All of these prints are common. It's really sad that this card hasn't even seen a super rare reprint. I think this would look fantastic in Secret Rare. Personally, Secret Rare is one of my favorite rarities, and I pretty much want like all my cards in Secret Rare if I could. I think this merits. It's a good effect. As long as you keep your hand diverse and you have a magic, you have a trap, you have a monster, you have a pretty good chance of, and this isn't once per turn, this is a continuous, you can keep on compulsing and bouncing all your opponent's monsters back to the hand with this card. Pretty cool artwork too. And the first editions are about $2 if you want to factor in shipping. Only 3 pages left of this on the market, so definitely starting to wash up. And yeah, it's about $2, $1.50. About $2. Let's just say $2 for the first edition prints. 3 pages on the market for this, so there is that. Kaijus, really quickly, I kind of feel like the market has, I don't really want to say market, but again, this is just through my online experience, because obviously none of us have had, personal encounters of, actually physically playing this game together. And Kaijus are still just Nibiru. Nibiru came out, and I feel like everyone kind of Winged Dragon of Ra, Sphere Mode, and Nibiru came out of the gold Sarkotins, and I feel like everyone just kind of forgot about Gameciel and forgot about Kaijus and forgot about Lava Golem and all these other hand traps that do their job, and they do their job well. They remove boards and break up boards, and it's pretty great. Obviously, everyone's fan favorite is, at least in my opinion, is probably this for like Dino players and stuff, but still even more so the secret rare version of Gamma Seal. I'm trying to see where the super rare version is. I know there's an OTS pack or Astral pack or whatever is super rare. Fantastic artwork on this. It's kind of weird. I really hate turtles. I think they're like the most disgusting looking animals that like ravage this planet Earth. But this artwork is actually pretty cool because it kind of looks more like a sea monster. I just pretend that it's more of a sea monster than an actual turtle. I'm just going to negate the shell there. And this is a secret rare reprint. It's about $8. And then it moves to about 11, and then it just moves on from there. Only 2 pages left of this. Isn't there an ultimate rare version of this? I could have swore that there was an ultimate rare version. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I know there's a super rare version for sure. There's a secret rare version, which looks fantastic. Dual Devastator we saw an ultra reprint, which is kind of like whatever. Here it is. So it just there wasn't an image. The OTS Pack 2 donned a super rare for us. And those are going for about $3 all across the board. And they move quickly up to about 4 or 5. 3 pages left of that. I guess not. I thought that there was... Really quickly, it's going to bother me. Yeah, I guess not. I guess there was not an ultimate version. I guess the good old white Mexican's going senile. I have some dementia or something. I'm going crazy. Anyway, moving on here. The last card I'm going to feature here is going to be Crackdown. Still, this is a solo print donning from Dark Neostorm. I play a lot of Satellar Knights. I like to mess around. Satellar Knights have a XYZ monster, Trevere, where they can recycle the board. And, of course, you know, continuous trap cards, you can just use their effects and then recycle the board and then just set them and reuse them again. So this is one of the cards I'm considering playtesting, kind of practicing or experimenting with my Satellar Knights potentially. It's cool that this is still a solo print. And, okay, so let's just take a look. There's a lot of hype behind this card, too. So many people were excited about this card, and everyone thought it was going to be a secret rare. Came out as a super rare, which I'm really thankful that, you know, it came out as a super rare because it makes it a lot more affordable. And it's about $3. $3 all across the board, and 5+ pages, so still pretty accessible. For a super rare, you know, it's kind of expensive for a super rare, but at the same time, it's really not for what this card is. This is a really good card. I think it's a good card, so I think it's worth the price point. So thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This has been a showcasing by the White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.